I'm mentally unstable makeup. Um, this is mentally unstable makeup. I'm your host, Tony. Jeez Louise. As you can tell, I've been struggling. So I wanted to do this several days ago, but my mental health is just not great lately. I'm in kind of a funk. It sucks. I'm just, it's hard to film and want to put on makeup and stuff when you just feel like, ooh, ooh. But my goal this month of October is to try to do as many Halloweenish, spooky makeups as possible. Um, I don't know how many I'll get out, guys. I'm just being real honest with you. I'm trying. It's really hard to film and put on makeup, and I'm struggling. But we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. So my plan today is to do a Halloween makeup. So I'm gonna use orange and black. I'm gonna try to do a like spider web. We'll see what happens. Um, the orange that I'm gonna use is my Makeup Murder, the loose pigment. This is considered a neon, but when it goes on, it's a little bit darker than it looks in the pan, but it is still very vibrant, and that's what I want because I really want the orange to shine through the web even with the black on. So I'm going to use just a super fluffy big brush because I'm going to put this orange all over, and I'm actually going to bring it up much higher than I normally would my regular eyeshadow. And all I did was pour some of this out onto a washcloth, and then I'm gonna dip into it. I'm still gonna tap it though, just because I'm trying to eliminate any kind of fallout that's gonna fall out on my face. And with this being a loose pigment, probably gonna happen, but we'll see how it goes. This brush is a blinged brush. If you haven't seen these, they're amazing. They're handmade. So somebody sits there and glues on every single one of these little rhinestones. These were expensive, but to me, worth every penny because I've had them for a very long time, and I haven't had a single stone go missing. So I still have fallout all over my face. And I mean, you're going to get that when you're using loose pigments like this. So not a big deal. I'll show you how to get it off. But if you notice, I'm not being very precise with this. I patted it in first, and then I'm just using circular motions to try to kind of blend it, just so that it's not this like really straight line of shadow of orange. So I'm going to concentrate on the top part of my eye first. I haven't really decided what my plan is with the bottom part just yet. I'm hoping that I'll feel motivated once I get done. And if you notice, I brought this pretty thickly on this thickly? I put it pretty thickly on the inside. Thickly. Why can I not speak English today? I know that's not the right word. Do you understand what I'm saying? I put it pretty, and it's because I have this big ass brush. But I did that on purpose because, like I said, when I put the black on, the black's going to be pretty intense as well. And so I want to make sure that this orange really shows through when I go to put the spider web. I've only been able to achieve this like spider web type thing one time. So, this might turn into an epic fail, but we tried. So I got more on this side than I did on this side, as you can see. So I'm going to take my brush. I'm just going to wipe it off on my washcloth Or you could use like the quick change thing just to kind of get some of the pigment off so that I can try to blend this pigment out. Or you could just add more to the other side. However you want to do it. So I'm just going back and forth, trying to make these as even as I possibly can. It's not going to be completely even just for the simple fact of my eyeballs aren't even. Nobody's eyeballs are even unless they got some sort of crazy surgery. Which I think even then, I don't know that you can get like a perfectly symmetrical. So I got a little too far on this side. So I'm just going to take my little sponge here and I'm just going to kind of wipe that off. And then add back as I need it. Some of this is because this brush is really big and the other part is because of the way that my eye is shaped right there. It has a fat roll. I don't know. Can you see that little fat roll right there? It makes it kind of Who has a fat roll on their eyeball? I don't know. It's always been there though. It doesn't matter how much weight I have or don't have. I always have a fat roll right there. Okay, so now that I have my orange on there and I'm pretty pleased with the blend. Oh, she bright. But that's okay, because that's what I wanted, or at least I think. So I'm just blending, 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 blending. Okay, so for this next part, I am going to put eye shields underneath my eyes, and that's because anytime I use black, I get that shit everywhere. So I want to try to eliminate, like, I got some of the orange all over my face. Let me just take a big old brush and try to dust that off. You don't want to, when you're dusting when you're dusting shadow off like that, you barely even want to touch because you don't want to push it into the skin. You just want to kind of wipe it off. If you press too hard and you try to wipe, you'll just smear it on your face. Okay, so here comes the scary part. So the eye shields that I use, I got these off of Amazon. I got 100 of them for like $9. And the best part is they come like this, which is way too big for my eye. So I actually cut them in half. So I actually got 200 for $9 because I cut mine in half. I pull the little sticky part off, but I don't pull the whole thing off, just this portion of it. And then I stick it to the back of my hand just to kind of make it to where it's still sticky, but it's not so sticky that it's like going to rip my skin off. And that's just, I just like the way that feels when I go to pull it off. And then I'm just going to angle this as if like, almost like if I was going to do almost a wing. And I'm just going to press that on there. It will take off some of this orange, and that's okay. I can always add it back if need be, but I kind of want it to take off some of that orange. But I didn't want like straight line with orange, and that's why I didn't put these on before I put my orange on. So I'm just trying to look in the mirror and make sure that these are angled pretty similar. Again, your eyes aren't symmetrical, so getting them to be exactly even is really effing hard. And see, I think this one's too high, but I think it'll be okay. And this is where my OCD kicks in, and I'm like, oh, it's not the same. Let it go, let it go. Okay, so for the black, I have this in my Kaleidos, and it is Futurism 3 Astro Pink palette. Looks like this. If you have not tried this brand, you need to jump on it. It's amazing. And see this black sparkly shade? That's the black I'm going to use. Now, I will say this. When you dip into this and you go to put it on your face, you lose a lot of that black sparkly. But that's okay. So I'm going to use, it's rounded, but it's kind of flat, but it's still fluffy. I think this is a ColourPop. It's a ColourPop E1. But any brush that's shaped like that will help you. I may even have to grab a smaller to get like in this area without it transferring down here to my bottom eye, just because of my eye fat roll. So I'm going to dip into that black. I'm going to tap it off because, like I said, I don't want it all over my face. And then I'm just going to concentrate this on the lowest part of my lid. And then I will slowly bring it up. And the reason is because I want this black concentrated deeper on my lid than I do as I go up, to try to create that blend up into that orange. So I'm tapping, 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 tapping. And then once I get the pigment pretty much where I want it, then I'm going to start to blend up. Because of the way that my eyes are shaped, I say hooded eyes, because when I look forward, see how my lid goes up underneath that little hood area? It's gonna transfer up anyways. So I go ahead and blend up a little bit above my crease, just because it's gonna go there anyways. So I want it to look like I meant for it to go there, not that it ended up transferring in there. So I'm using the shape of the brush to get into my crease. Just to try to blend up. And because that orange is so vibrant, it is going to turn a little bit brown mixed with this black, but that's okay because the majority of the lid space is going to be black. Plus, I feel like it kind of helps create almost a fade into the orange. And I know this is looking kind of cray-cray right now, but I promise you, trust the process. It will turn out in the end. Well, I ain't gonna promise you that yet. Let's wait till we get a little further. This might turn into an epic fail, but it's fun. That's all that matters. So right in this area, I have a really hard time keeping the shadow down onto my lid so that it doesn't transfer up. And that's what I was talking about how in just a minute, I will grab a smaller brush so that I can get into that area and not risk it transferring onto that little bump that I have right there on that eye. I don't know why that bump's there. It's always been there. It's just part of my eye shape. And this is the kind of stuff that, like, you can't watch somebody's tutorial and get so discouraged if yours doesn't look exactly like theirs, because all of our eye shapes are different. So you have to kind of adapt and do stuff that works for your eyeball. So I'm just gently going up just a little bit higher. So I'm above my crease, but just by a little tiny bit. And this part's really hard too because, again, with my eye shape being different, it's really hard to get it to look the same. And that just takes practice of going back and forth and looking at your eye and your eye shape and figuring out what you need to do for your eye shape. And I am not a makeup artist, so I could be completely telling you wrong. I don't know. I'm just telling you what works for me. Okay, so now I have this little small circular brush, and that's what I'm going to use to really get into this inner corner so that it doesn't bleed up or down into this bottom lash line. And I do have some transferring happening to that bottom lash line, but it's okay because I can go in and just wipe it out with makeup remover wipe, and that's typically what I have to do. I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Just to get that black concentrated where I want it. And this part, you just kind of go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until you're happy with the way that it looks. And if you notice, like I told you before, the sparkly that was that black, it goes away when it goes on your lid. Which is kind of a bummer, but at the same time, I kind of like that too. So I'm just kind of going back and forth until I'm happy with the result. Now I am going to go back with this. I haven't added any additional product. This is just what's left over. And I'm just going to gently rub it over that line where that black meets that orange. And that's just because I'm trying to create a smooth blend. I hope y'all can see this. I know sometimes when I'm doing my makeup, I don't look down and I notice that my hand is in the way. And y'all didn't see anything. I'm trying to get better. But that just helps blend it just a little bit more. Okay. So I've got those down. Now, oh, I forgot my wipe. Hang on. So as you can see, I have transfer happening. So I'm just going to take a makeup wipe, the corner of it, and I'm going to stick my fingernail in it so that I've got this like pointy. And I'm just going to go in here and try to wipe this out. You can also use a Q-tip. If this gets too crazy out of hand and just like is smearing and your eyes water it and it ends up just being a mess, you can always just go back over with concealer, which I'm probably going to have to do since this black is so pigmented. See? So I can fix that. Once I figure out what I want to do with my bottom lash line, I'll figure it out. Worst case scenario, I can always take that black and smoke out that bottom lash line and it would cover it up anyways. So there's ways around stuff. It just depends on what you prefer and what you want to do. Okay, so now I need to do the web part and I'm nervous. I'm really freaking nervous. So y'all know I cannot do a wing to save my damn life. And this is kind of a wing because it's creating that line here, kind of like a wing. So wish me luck. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this felt black liner and I'm going to follow this line right here until the end, and then I'm going to create a spider web in the orange. Wish me luck. I can't talk and do this at the same time, so talk amongst yourselves. And you see how that line's kind of bumpy and all of that? It's okay. I'm just trying to get the placement for right now of where I want this line to be. And then I will go back and thicken it up a little bit to try to get rid of that bumpy line. Okay, so I think that's a good place for the line. Now I'm going to go back and do the other side. And if you notice, I keep kind of shaking this down, much like a fountain pen. When you're upright with any kind of anything with ink in it, it's going to start to dry out. And so every once in a while, you'll see me like do this. And what I'm trying to do is to get the ink to go back down into the felt pen. And here's the really hard part of trying to get them even. Again, they're probably not going to be because your eyeballs aren't even. Oh, that one worked out so much better than this one, which always happens. You have your one good eye and then your one bad eye. Okay, so now I'm going to try to fix this line a little bit. Don't forget to blink, otherwise your eyeballs will start watering. Okay. Okay. So far. Okay, now here's the hard part. Because now I need to do the diagonal outlines, but I want to be able to do enough that, like, if I have 5 on this side, I've got 5 on this side. So this takes a little bit of planning. You also don't want one line to be like this and one line to be like this on your eye. So I'm probably going to start in the center, and that way I can try to keep these as even as possible. Again, super hard because your eyeballs aren't even. So my first line, I'm going to try to line up with like my pupil. And I'm going to just go straight up. And the great point about this is if they're jaggedy and uneven and all of that, doesn't matter because it's a spider web. It's not supposed to be precise. I see some that have like amazing lines, super straight, and I'm jealous, but I can't do that. So now from here, I'm going to go out like a spider web at like a diagonal. can't. I'm also trying to not close my eyes or anything while I'm doing this so that this has time to dry so that it doesn't smear. Okay, So I only fit 2 on the inside, and I'm going to have way more room here. So that's what I mean about it's not going to be exact, but you do what you can. Okay, so now in between the little stumps, the little lines here, I'm going to do that little U-shaped like this line for like the actual web part. Because this is my inner, I'm just going to take it from the tip and dip in and bring it up to that top one. Oh, I'm shaky. And I don't know if you noticed, but for each one that I started on the other side, I started it where the other one met so that it looks like one string. Okay, I'm going to leave these 2 alone, but I'm going to start one up here. See? I might. I'm going to do one right here just because aesthetically I think it's going to look better. Yeah, I like that better. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. So now I'm going to do the other side. Woo! Blink, 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 blink. If you notice I didn't get these lined up, that's going to annoy me. Okay, so we did 2 here. This one should have been higher. That really sucks. Oh well. I'm just going in and trying to sharpen the tip. Okay. So that is that for that. So now I'm going to take these off. Oh, and see, it took the orange off a little bit, but not as much as you would think, considering it is a sticker. So this last little right here, I'm going to try to gently just make a little sharp, just so that it doesn't look like it just ends. And any of the ones that I think need to be brought out more, I will bring out more. We're getting there. And see what I mean? It's not even, it's not perfect, it's not, but it is what it is. And I really enjoy it. Now, I can see just a little bit where like it needs to be just a little bit darker in this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that little tiny one and I'm just going to try to, and I'm going to dust off. I'm just going to try to place a little bit more shadow right in that area. Just to try to make that not such a dark line. And I'm using the little small one because I don't want to smear my line that I made for my web. And then I'm going to dip back into my black with that original brush that I did black. And I'm just going to tap gently on my lid just to deepen it up just a little bit more. Okay, so now I need to figure out what I want to do with my bottom lash line. And I thought about bringing this black down in and then smoking it out with the orange. And then I also thought about just doing a bright orange underneath there. So I can't... What do I want to do, boo? I think I'm going to take this little tiny one. I'm not dipping back in. And I'm just going to hug this up against my lash line. And just see what that looks like. Yeah. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back in with the little tiny one, back into that black. And I'm just going to continue the line. I just think it looks more, it flows good. Looks like it belongs there, like it's going together. Kind of got raccoon eye going on, but I think what I'll do is blend it out with that bright orange, and that will lighten it. And it will also make the orange look more cohesive. There's probably an easier way to do this. I don't know, but this is just the way that I'm doing it. Don't judge me. Okay, so I'm going to go back with that big fluffy. I'm going to dip back into my orange. Again, I'm going to tap, 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 tap. Because I don't want any of the fallout to get on my face. And I'm just going to gently rub this up against that black. It is going to wipe off and like turn some of that black like a brownie color, and that's okay, because what I can do is go back with that black and deepen it back up. Okay, so because the black kind of got on this brush, I'm having to wipe it off, dip back into my orange, and that way the orange shows better. Otherwise, it would just kind of blend into the black. Okay, and like I said, I knew that was going to take off some of that black. I'm just going to go back in with the little one that has the black on it, and I'm just going to replace it. I didn't dip back into the black. I'm just using the residue. Whatever was left on this brush. And then again, just very gently with the orange. If you get it too high up, you can just go back with the black. Okay, so I am going to do my eyeliner and lashes and put on a lip, and I will be right back to show you the end result. So hang tight. Okay. So here's the final look. Don't get mad. So I put on my mascara like normal, and it just wasn't quite enough. So I did put on lashes. These are from my Lashy Box, which if you have not looked up Lashy Box, I've been super excited about my subscription with them. I've loved everything that I've gotten. So definitely check them out. But these lashes are the 3D Silk Lashes in Palm Springs by them. They do sell their stuff by themselves if you don't want to subscribe to the actual box, but I've been happy with the box. I think it's like $9. I don't even know. It's cheap because I'm cheap. So my lip is the Hot Ombre, which y'all know I love this, in Toasted Peach. And then I dab just a little bit of the Pumpkin Spice 2 from Sugar Pill on the center. I was going to go straight up black, but I don't know. To me, it almost seemed costumey, and I don't want to look costumey. I'm getting ready to go to the grocery store and clean my house and all that, and so I don't want to look costumey. I want to look like I'm doing a Halloween makeup. So here's the final look. I hope you like it. Let me know below if you are enjoying this. If you recreate this, I want to see it. So tag me if you recreate this. And as always, love yourselves, love each other, and have a good weekend. Bye.